Welcome to Help in American Ghettos podcast. I'm your host, Emmanuel Barbee. This afternoon, we have a special guest, Bishop Alex from Nigeria. We're going to discuss about the the TikTok video of an Arab man that's bragging about coming to Africa. He steals gold and diamonds, and he's posting it on TikTok. It's very disturbing. I don't like it. I'm trying to encourage more of my African friends, especially in my African group, GRCAM of Africa, to come on this podcast so we can talk about this stuff. Very important stuff. Also, we have another guest. His name is Jeremiah. I don't know if I can pronounce his last name. Hold on. Adele Yu. He's from Nigeria. So we're going to start off with you, Bishop, okay? Bishop Alex, I want you to tell my listeners a little bit about yourself. Tell them how they can connect with you. And also we're going to tell them, how you feel about that video that I just discussed.
Okay.
Oh, wow. We're having technical difficulties, but that's okay. It's all right. Okay, I'm going to move to you then, Jeremiah. Can I get you to, did you get a chance to watch that video I sent you?
Yeah, I did. I got the video.
Okay, so please tell my listeners a little bit about yourself and then let's talk about that video, please.
Okay, so good evening, wonderful listener. My name is Jeremiah Delu, but my stage name is Jerry Rhymes. I am the director of Voice of Migrant Association. So Voice of Migrant Association is an association that talks about migrant people, return migrants, potential migrants. And what we do is that we help them to, those who return back to Nigeria, we help them to get back in their feet through reintegration assistance, through referring them to a place of mental health and psychosocial support, making sure that they get back to their feet. And we are launching a podcast called the Voice of Migrant podcast this week Sunday, just to promote return migrants and potential migrants in that regard. So basically, that is what I do. And other business that I do real estate. I use it to support my organization deals where I sell landed properties and making sure that there is money for us to run the organization or Voice of Migrant Association deals. So going back to the video, I actually watched the video. I watched the video like 4 times. I had to watch it over and over and over again. What I see in that video, number one, is that the impunity for you to take Africa's wealth or Africa's inheritance, thinking that because you paid somebody for that means it becomes your own. Now, when I watched that video, I saw three things. Number one, I saw that we Africans, we can easily sell ourselves. That if they give us a little pin, like cash or stipends, you can easily give your brother, you can easily give another person or your another man your inheritance without looking at the consequences that are involved. Number two, why they were mining that gold mine? The persons who were working in that gold mine, they were not um, a white person. They were Africans like us who were naive and they do not know that this inheritance or this gold mine will have been what will have been used to develop Africa at large. But now, because of, will I say, poverty or because of naiveness, they now fall prey to a little amount of money that they give to them. They now give their gold mine to a white man. I take it from this other side. Is it possible for a black man to pay money and go to a white man's country to go and mine gold? The answer is no. So why is it that white people cannot come to Africa? You know, let in Nigeria, in Edo State where I come from, we had white people who came to Edo State, Nigeria, to come and take our own artifacts, our own craft work, our own inheritance in our Edo kingdom. But I thank God for the king today, the Obaewari II, who has made that possible that they should return whatever they have taken. Maybe they took those things because they are hungry. I don't want to believe it's hunger. I want to believe it's because they are not conscious of the future. So wherever you are listening from the world, all Africa in the world, this is our inheritance. We cannot joke with this inheritance because without this inheritance, there is no Africa. All of us, we want to go to the white man country, we want to work as slaves, we want to go there because we see better life there. Sir, as we are going there, none of those countries that we are going to are playing with their natural resources. None of them is playing with their inheritance. I give you for free. Other countries have oil and they are not they are managing their oil. But Africans, what do we do with our oil? You see them, they come here, they cause war here, they cause fight here. They will make sure they will bring peacekeeping and make sure that okay, these persons are going through XYZ. They will not start making us. Is it that we are not exposed to see what is happening in the world? The gold that that man took in Botswana can be enough to take care of at least North Africa or West Africa or East Africa. So what it means is that wherever you find any loophole that you know that, this is the thing that will make Africa to become a best continent in the world. Trust me, let's start doing it. Let's not do it because they give us what you call it peanuts. The person that is paying them money to mine that gold, how much is he making? I saw him on the video. He was carrying gold. He was carrying money. He was, he was saying he's the richest man. He's the richest gold mine. Both him and his boss, who claimed that they are the richest person in terms of gold mining. Now, the Africans who are actually helping them to mine the gold because they are not the one that is mining the gold. The African who is helping them to mine the gold, they look more tattered, they look more unkept, they are the ones suffering. Who has bewitched us, oh Africa? Who has bewitched us? Is it that we do things out of context, or we do things because of witchcraft, or we do things because we are not conscious of the future? This future is the one that our forefathers left for us so that when we grow up, okay, now I give it for free. The scripture says, a good man shall leave inheritance for his children. Now, the children have already sold what is supposed to be left for the children. So when the children now come, what are they going to fall back to? So, ladies and gentlemen, all Africans in the world, this is our inheritance. This is what we can boast for to say, okay, we have something to fall back to. Wherever you are watching us in the world, Emmanuel Barbee is doing a wonderful work to make sure that the Blacks' voice is being heard all over the world. I have not met him before physically. I have not been to US physically. I have not been to Chicago, but he's bringing his message to Africa. Where are the Africans in this world? Why can't you come? Let's support a good vision like Emmanuel Barbee vision to make sure that Africans can develop again. I have a slogan that says, if you see something, say something. And when you say something, you do something. Emmanuel Barbee have seen something in Africa that these white people just take us as slaves, put us in that space, make what is for us, take it to their country, develop themselves, and still use us for slavery. In Africa today, we are the most people who travel to the white country. Do white people travel? They can just travel for holiday, for picnics, and come back. How many of them migrate like Africans? So let's begin to own our own. Some of the Africans that we even have do not use Africans' products. In Nigeria, for example, if you want to buy something, somebody will tell you, I prefer foreign products than this product because they have already bewitched us that when you use foreign products, it is better. Same also that these persons don't use Nigerian products. Are we patronizing ourselves enough? Do we love ourselves that much that, at the end of the day, we will now begin to see Africa as a safe space? Today, one African country is not talking to another African country. Because Nigeria and Niger has some issues, you see a Nigerian person don't want to talk to a Niger person, and we are all Africans. So if we are not talking to each other, how are we supposed to bring ideas that will help us to become a good continent in the world? Whether you like it or not, Africa is big and Africa is large. And we have the population and the like minds of people who can take this Africa forward in the nearest future. So I drop my curtain here for as many persons who are watching this right now, understand that this is our inheritance and we must protect it with all our mind, with all our soul, with everything that we have. Thank you. I hand over the mic to Emmanuel Barbee.
All right. Thank you, Jeremiah. I still want you to stay on the line, okay? Don't go anywhere, please. Yeah, we're having big issues with Bishop Alex, his network, but I'm trying my best to get him on the show. Again, I encourage all of my African friends that's part of GRCAM of Africa to come on this platform, so that way we can have these type of discussions. But with me, I don't want to just be sitting up here running off at the mouth. I'm trying to encourage people to purchase my revised book. Read it. It's called The Solution for Black America, Reclaiming, Rebuilding, and Restoring the Urban Ghettos in America, second edition. It's available on Amazon. You can get it as a ebook. That means you can download it on your smartphone if you have a compatible smartphone for $9.99. Also, you can purchase the softcover book. Amazon is in Africa. And let's say, for example, if you're in West Africa, you can get it, and it would be $15 plus shipping and handling. Bishop Alex, are you available?
Yes.
Yes. Do you want to go ahead and just say whatever the Lord lay on your heart? Because I want people to hear what you have to say. But before you do that, please tell them a little bit about
Okay.
yourself. Yeah, tell them a little bit about yourself and your ministry, and then just go ahead and we'll talk about this topic.
Okay. Good evening. By way of introduction, I am Bishop Alex Suleiman Olofu, based in Abuja. I'm the coordinator TNCC. That's the New Covenant Chapel, and I also pioneer a little NGO called Passion International, where I visit nations, where I travel to nations as speaker, as guest, as
It's all right. That's all right.
Can I go on? Can I go
Yes,
on,
yes,
Emmanuel Barbee?
yes, you can. Go ahead, Bishop. Well, I'm finna interject real fast. Jeremiah, I'm not trying to put you on the spot, but I got to keep it real because you don't really know me that well, and That's how come I like to do this show, because I want people to know who I am. I'm not some dude that's just trying to hide behind a computer. I'm not a scammer. I'm not going to have any scams up in my business, because everybody will be, I would say, have to pass a criminal background check in my business, because we want to weed out con artists. We ain't having that, and we're not going to have any corruption. And you made a statement, and it's okay. I'm not offended. I'm just talking to you out of, brotherly love. You say that I'm an American, I'm not an African. I disagree, my brother, because I identify myself as a displaced African, okay? All right, my brother? And that's how come I want to get African immigrants that's already here in the United States of America, because it was Black Americans that helped fought for Africans to come over during the 1960s, during the Civil Rights era. Don't take my word for it. Do the research. So anyhow, yeah, I consider myself a displaced African. But I am a Black American. And unfortunately, Jeremiah, oh, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay. All right, cool. Unfortunately, Jeremiah, I've been reaching out to my own people, Black Americans, for the past 32 years. I'm still on first base. Why? Because my people have that slave mentality or Willie Lynch mentality. And so that's not cool. Oh, okay. So I'm going to turn the show back over to you, Bishop Alex. Just go ahead and say whatever the Lord lay on your heart. You're going to have to speak fast because you're having internet issues. So go ahead. Oh, Bishop Alex. Sorry, man. You're going through a rough thing. It is what it is, but that's okay, y'all. But anyway, all I'm trying to say is, all I'm trying to do is get my film project fully funded and made. So I call upon African immigrants here within the United States of America. I'm not asking for you to be on the front lines. I'm not into that marching and protesting. That's not how I do. What I want to create a real legitimate business that's going to help solve our problems. But first, Black Americans and African immigrants, we're going to have to learn how to get along with each other and work with each other. And we have to separate ourselves from con artists that's among us. That's how come I want to make sure that in my business, we're going to raise the bar. Okay, so anyhow, I'm calling upon African immigrants from South Africa, Kenya, Ethiopia, Tanzania, Uganda, Angola, Liberia, Ivory Coast, Ghana, and Nigeria. That's very important. This is what my creator has placed in my heart. So that's what we're going to do. That's going to be for credibility. We're going to like-minded Black Americans, like-minded African immigrants, that's members of the grassroots community activist movement, which is what I wrote about in my book. This is for us. This is the foundation of my business. We're going to create the Grassroots Community Activist Institute of Chicago here in America first for credibility before we expand it to those 10 other African nations that's going to work with us. You have my word on that. Black Americans eventually they're going to come on board, but what it is that they want to fold their arms and they want to sit up here and they're laughing at me, overlooking me, and taking me for joke. This is how come I'm reaching out to African immigrants. I can't reach out to nobody else because I'm going to say all these other groups, they don't care about the improvement of our situation. That's just how it is. There's no one else that's going to help us. Our people have been colonized. So in my Christian business, the Grassroots Community Activist Institute of Chicago, we're going to heal first with Black Americans, heal from that slave mentality, which is that Willie Lynch mentality. So we're going to declare war on that mess. And those that, that's not, I would say, in agreement with this vision and stuff, we're going to pray for them. We're going to show them tough love and keep it moving. That means we're going to separate ourselves from them. We want to build. I want to connect with people that want and know how to build things. So the Grassroots Community Activist Institute of Chicago is going to be a multi-purpose facility. It's going to serve the African-American community as well as the African immigrant community. It's going to be I would say, a tax base. That means it's going to bring in money to the community to help improve the community at the grassroots level. Again, I can't do all this stuff by myself. This is a Nehemiah assignment. This is bigger than myself. And Jeremiah, like I say, all I have is my revised book. It's been on Amazon for 12 years and still barely selling, my brother. I have my virtual store, trying to generate capital for this business. But I can't make Black Americans buy the book. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. So I'm not letting that stop me, Jeremiah. This is how come I created this platform. I want people to hear me loud and clear. I'm not on here playing games. Those that want scam artists and all that kind of stuff, we're going to expose them in this business. Let them know that they're not welcome here. Now, when we come to Africa, we're going to go to South Africa first. That's where my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, he placed that in my heart to do it that way. I don't know why, but it is what it is. I would say because they have a similar history as Black Americans, because they were oppressed and subjugated to apartheid. We were subjugated to the Jim Crow. So apartheid and Jim Crow is the same thing. It's just a different name. That's separate. That's racial segregation. And so we want to go there, work with I would say Black Africans that want to be a part of this thing. Also, I'm going to shoot my second film there as well. African Liberator, Battle Against the Colonized Mindset. I didn't like the elections in South Africa that took place recently. I expected that Black South Africans was going to elect Julius Malema from the EFF, Economic Freedom Fighters, that he would be president. His organization has been out for 10 years. He's been fighting tooth and nail on the ground, trying to help Black South Africans. And he's pushing for land distribution without compensation. Because it was the colonizers. We didn't ask them to come to our continent. They the ones that imposed themselves. They're the ones that brought, colonization. Anyhow, come to find out, it's called the Democratic Alliance. That's the white minority former regime that imposed apartheid. They came in second place outside of the ANC. So I was very disappointed with that. And then come to find out, the EFF came in fourth place. So that's not cool at all. That means we have a long way to go. That's discouraging to me. That makes me feel like, well, what's the purpose of me even want to go to Africa if Black Africans are going to side with their former colonizers? But I'm not going to let that faze me. My whole point is to get this business popping here in America first for credibility. We're going to raise that bar. Now, that guy that, I need to let my listeners understand. In the comment section below this video podcast, I'm going to have my Medium transcript. And on there, you can find all the different videos to see about all this stuff I'm talking about. You could watch about that Arab man, his TikTok video that he's bragging about getting diamonds and gold from Africa, while the majority of the populations are hungry, destituted. That's not cool at all. When I bring my business over to South Africa, we're going to expand, like I say, to those other African nations. So, for example, I'm just going there. When we come to Nigeria, we want to solve your two major problems. Rolling blackouts like we see on this video podcast with Bishop Alex. He's having internet issues. We're going to help solve that through my Christian business, as well as I would say water filtration, and we're going to offer employment, for the locals. But most of all, we're going to do these things. I want to bring the best of my people. I would say like-minded Black Americans that's members of GRCAM, to do that in exchange for citizenship, because I want to help get my people to have a base in Africa. So that way I want to bring the best of the Black Americans. So that way we can teach you all how to compete with those foreign I would say people that's in your country. Because unfortunately, Jeremiah, a majority of businesses in Africa is owned by foreigners, non-Black or non-Africans, Asians, East Indians, Europeans. They're running a lot of your businesses on the continent. When I bring my business over there, that's going to be for us. And we're going to teach you how to create your own businesses in this business. That's how come I'm trying to get people to read my story. Nevertheless, all I'm asking people to do too, that's on my Facebook friends list, read my story. That's part one. Make arrangements to get on this podcast with me or this platform, and let's talk about it so we can get other people involved. That's going to help speed up the process. Again, I've been doing this for 32 years. November 10th will be 33 years. I don't want to be doing this another 32 years. But again, God give us free will. So, it is what it is. But again, I'm not going to compromise Jeremiah, with my principles. I want to make sure that my members, that they're going to benefit from this business. I'm going to go ahead and just go there. The Grassroots Community Activist Institute of Chicago is going to have 9 different components. First, a social service component. First of all, let me back up for a moment. Our mission here in America, specifically Chicago, Illinois, is to help eradicate urban violence in Chicago through art, culture, commerce, spiritual development, as well as hosting African tours. We're not going to just sit up here and talk about Africa. We're going to go to the continent, starting in South Africa. Once we go there, we're going to set up local chapters. We're going to meet with people from my African group, GRCAM of Africa, in real life. So that way we can know about each other and we can exchange ideas and work together to build this thing. Okay, so we're going to have a social service component. We're going to have a spiritual component, which is going to be optional for secular people. We're not going to be over here beating people upside the head to tell them that they have to be saved and all that stuff. No, we're not doing that, because that's a personal relationship between that person and their creator. This is what I have been called to do. Only thing that's holding me back is, two things: the lack of manpower and the capital. So this is how come the Lord, gave me to write the vision and make it plain. I did that. I got the virtual store out there, and again, people can find all that, my virtual store, as well as the about our film project, in the links below in the comment section. I'm gonna have that in there. We're gonna have number 3 would be a political component. We're gonna teach our members the importance of politics. Yes, religious people want to say that that's secular, that you shouldn't get involved. That's what the devil want to lie and tell you to think like that, because when you think like that and don't get involved with politics, then that's when the white supremacist financial elites, the ones that cause all our social problems on the African continent, they're the ones that caused all our problems. We didn't ask them to come to our continent. They imposed their economy on us so that way they can colonize us. So we're going to learn about politics, and we're going to elect our own representatives from the grassroots in terms of being, representatives, rather than having puppet leaders from the white supremacist financial elites. Now, one thing I am going to give a shout out to in terms of in West Africa is Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger. For finally, it took them 49 years, but they finally kicked out the French. So I give them big ups, because that's our continent. But all those resources that the French have been taking since, I must say, the 1600s or even maybe the 1500s, they've been taking resources from us. Enough is enough. We have to reclaim our continent. If we lose Africa, listen to me well, all my African brothers and sisters worldwide. If we lose Africa, we lose everything. Okay, we're going to have number 4, entrepreneur component. We're going to teach our members and students how to create nonprofits, as well as how to create for-profit businesses. I know how to do those things. But Black Americans, they want to sit up here and take me for joke and like, oh, I don't want to listen to what you have to say, blah, blah, blah. But again, mark my words, Jeremiah, once I start making money in this business, because I want to make Black empowerment films to let the whole Black world know what we're trying to do and what I've been trying to do too for the past 32 years. It's not cool. But I want to make sure that nobody else, especially people under my leadership, will have to endure such foolishness that I had to endure for trying to do something positive for my community and my racial group. We're going to have number 5, an entertainment component. We want to make quality film, quality Black empowerment films. When we come to Africa, we want to make quality African empowerment films. Number 6, we're going to have a Black grassroots media, kind of like what we have right now with this Help Stop the Genocide in American Ghettos podcast. But I want us to own and control our own media space, because right now I'm dependent on Facebook, and YouTube to help get my message out there, as well as LinkedIn, TikTok, Instagram. All those social sites don't really belong to us. That's somebody else's platforms. That's how come a lot of my stuff, let's say on YouTube, I'm being shadow banned. People don't know about what I'm trying to do or when I host my shows. So, but that's how come I want us to be able to be in a position where we own and control our own things. Number 7, we're going to have a health and wellness component. Number 8, we're going to have a science and technology component. And number 9, a travel and tourism component. So, Jeremiah, I want to, once I get this film project fully funded and made, and the proceeds start coming in, and we, that would put me in a better position financially, so that way I can hire qualified Black middle class professionals. I can hire, I would say, like-minded African immigrants that's going to work with me, because I would be in a better position financially to do so, and purchase property here in the city of Chicago and buy office equipment. So when I do those things, I want to make sure I have it established here in America first, again, for credibility. So then when I expand it to South Africa, at least I want to make sure that I'm going to be able to sustain myself when I leave the United States. So I'm not fighting it over here. We're not fighting against the government. That's not what we're trying to do here. All we're trying to do is work with like-minded Black Americans that want more out of life. We'll work with them. And this is my gift to them too, because all Black Americans are not going to be able to leave the United States of America due to economics. So at least we'll have a presence, the business, in the low-income African-American community, as well as in the African immigrant community here in the city of Chicago. My goal, and I pray that my Christian business will be, will, at least expand to at least, I'm trying to guess, let's say at least 10 cities throughout the United States of America. I wish it was more. I wish it was all the inner cities in America, but I'm just going to just say at least 10. I hope it will become a franchise just like McDonald's, a successful franchise. But the only difference is we are the ones that's going to own and control it. Now, I do want to mention non-Black sympathizers, they're welcome to join us. But we're going to screen everybody, because I want to know where people's hearts and minds is at. We're not going to be colonized. And also, I want to make sure that non-Black sympathizers, they can join us, not as groups, but as individuals, because nobody else is stumping hard for reparations for descendants of American slaves more than we are over here. No, all these other groups, they're against it because they say, oh, that happened a long time ago. But that slave money, they're still getting it. They're living off of that inheritance. All that wealth that they made off of my people, our ancestors. So we got to get some of that. So that's what we are pushing for over here in this business, as well as an anti-Black hate crime bill. Jeremiah, do you have any specific questions you'd like to ask me?
Okay, well said. I actually have just one question to ask you.
Go ahead, please.
And back to the film. I don't know if the general public can have an idea what is going to be the cost of the production of the film, so that if we are selling the materials in Amazon's and virtual, and okay, maybe you are looking for, let's say, $50,000, and maybe with what you've sold so far, you've been able to raise $1,000. Okay, is this something that the general public can know? Okay, Emmanuel Barbee is looking for $50,000 to produce his dream film that he has been nursing for 32 years. So I don't know if it's something that you can tell the general public to be aware of, so that we'll start planning all together.
May I respond, sir?
All right.
And that question, what you just said, I answered that in a nutshell. At first, I wanted 500,000 because I want to make a quality film, okay? But I wasn't able to get anything. This year, I'm going to say back in January, I tried to launch it again, trying to, raise funds. And
Okay.
I want you to, I don't want you to just take my word for it. And that's how come I wanted you to, I'm glad that you're on here. Do you know how to screen share your, I guess where you're at right now? If I send you something, are you able to screen share it? Because I don't know how to do all that fancy stuff. That's how come I put all my information on my Medium page so people can see it. And I put it in the comment section below. So that way people can check that stuff out. But I want to know, do you know how to screen share your stuff on your end?
No, I don't know how to do that.
That's okay. That's how come I try to tell people to go to the comment section below this video podcast, especially, they can see the links. But also I have it on my Medium page. But anyhow, I am using crowdfunding. Okay, Jeremiah, and that means people can go look and see what I'm asking for. I'm asking for $250,000. And I'm going to tell you, if you look at how many people that's on my Facebook friends list, just look at that alone. Don't worry about all the other sites I'm on. Just that one, because this is where I do more of my show from, on Facebook.
Okay.
Out of 2,000, I'm just going to round it off. Out of 2,000 people, I want you to guess how many people have donated so far to this film project. Just take a wild guess.
From the statistics, if you have 2,000, maybe like 5 persons have subscribed. Maybe like 5 out of 2,000.
Okay, no, it's not 5. Guess again. It's less than 5 too, Jeremiah. I hate to tell you that, my brother, but and I'm gonna show you how to find, so that way you can see what I'm talking about. Less than 5. So go ahead. What's another you want to guess?
2?
Oh, you close. Only one person, my brother.
One. Wow.
One person. Yeah. Why? Again, because of this Willie Lynch mentality within our culture, my brother. Like I say, I'm just trying to get people to buy the book first. My book is barely selling. I'm like, my God, how can I do my job? So this is the problem that we haven't. So that's how come I do my show. So anyhow, yeah. So I have a GoFundMe page. Again, you can find that in the comment section below this video podcast. And I want you to do that too. I want you to look at it too. All right, Jeremiah. Also, I have a PayPal page. If you're a U.S. citizen, people, if they donate and let us know who you are, then we can acknowledge you. But if you want to be anonymous, that's fine. But anyhow, if you're a U.S. citizen, I would recommend that you donate through our PayPal page, and you can use that as a tax write-off, because this is a legitimate 501c3 faith-based and community advocacy organization. I'm not in a position right now, Jeremiah, to hire anybody, because I don't have much money. I'm paying money out of my pocket just for the business title, and I've been paying that since 2010. So that's not cool. I'm investing all of my money and stuff trying to get this thing started. I'm like, Lord have mercy. This is just ridiculous. It's unacceptable. And I want to make sure nobody that's part of my business will have to endure this type of foolishness. This is why because people, once I start making money, they're going to want to come around then. I'm not doing this to make people like me and be popular. I want to help solve our problems at the grassroots level, starting here in America. And like I say, if Black Americans don't want it, it's okay. I'm reaching out to African immigrants, but we're going to make sure we get it popping here in America first for credibility. And if anybody, like I say, if they disagree and all that garbage, that's fine. You're entitled to your opinion. No, you don't have to donate and you don't have to be a part of this business. But do not come to us, because if you're not a member, again, we're going to just pray for them, show them tough love, and keep it moving. This is the problem I'm having, Jeremiah. This is why I'm reaching out to 10 African nations, or 10 African nations, immigrants from 10 African nations that's here in America to help speed up the process.
Trust me, I can really relate with your analysis, and I get your point 100%.
So my question, before I end this podcast, the burden is not on me. I've done everything I can do. Again, I have my revised book out there. I have my virtual store out there. I have the film project that I'm trying to get popping. I have my online groups. I let people know to come on here to interact with me. But the bottom line, it's up to the Black grassroots and the global African family to get behind this and for us to make this happen. Because we can complain about the white man all day long. If Black Americans and if African immigrants, if we don't work together to help solve our own issue, that's what the devil wants. He wants us to sit up here and just be killed, to be extinct, for Africa to get recolonized. That's up to y'all if y'all want that. I don't want to spend the rest of my life in America. I want to bring my business to Africa. But again, I want to make sure that when I come to Africa, I'm able to sustain myself, that I'm in a better position financially to offer economic tangibles to the African locals, to hire them. That's going to be part of GRCAM members. So I would like to, partner with you once I'm, once I come over to Nigeria, Also, Jeremiah, I don't want to take up much of your time. I got to go there with you. When I do my African film, I want to give you that option in terms of being a part of it, either to act as an actor to be in the film or act behind the scenes to help, market it, stuff like that. But it will be made in South Africa. Also, when I come to South Africa, I'm going to prove to African, I would say continental Africans, that I mean business, because I'm going to apply for dual citizenship in South Africa when I set up my Christian business there. But Jeremiah, I do need to say, if I'm unable to get this my film project fully funded and made here and get it popping, I can't come to Africa. But I'm not some dude that's just sitting up here just running off at the mouth. I back up what I say to the fullest if given a chance. And again, in my business, there will be no corruption. We're going to raise the bar. And I want to make sure nobody else will have to endure such foolishness that I went through. That my film, I'm sorry, I don't know if I said this. The name of my, I would say, docudrama is called Hood Liberator, Made in Chicago. The War Against Willie Lynch Begins. That's based on my revised book. That's what the film is based off. all of this foolishness that I had to endure trying to find people to work with me. I mean, it is what it is. But I didn't let that discourage me from, get my message out there. This is how come I created this platform. And I stand 10 toes down. This is on business. So that's all I can say, Jeremiah. And again, I don't want to just be sitting up here talking about religion. Religion is safe. I want to focus on solving Black issues here in America. When I come to Africa, we're going to focus on solving African issues. When we go to Brazil, we want to focus on solving Brazilian issues. When we go to the Caribbean, we want to focus on solving Caribbean issues. That's how it is. I'm trying to make this happen. So all I can say to all my listeners, work with me while I'm alive. Don't wait till I'm dead. I'm trying to get this thing popping. With that being said, thank you all for listening. We're going to continue to do this until we get this film project fully funded and made. And those that have, I would say, rejected and overlooked my vision and plan for the past 32 years, the ones I've been reaching out to, ain't nothing changed over here. You will not be part of my business because this is membership based. We're coming against that Willie Lynch mentality in Jesus' name. We're coming against that colonized mindset in Jesus' name. We're going to heal from that. We're going to learn how to work together. Like-minded Black Americans, like-minded African immigrants here in America. That's going to be my credibility when I come to Africa. Instead of me having to explain who Emmanuel Barbee is, my business will speak for itself, and my members will vouch for me. With that being said, thank you all for listening. And that's going to conclude our program for this evening until the next episode. Peace and blessings. Jeremiah, do you want to say anything else before we conclude the show? Do you want to say anything else, Jeremiah?
Okay, what I just want to say is that for all our viewers out there, it's good for us to support our brother Emmanuel Barbee, because trust me, he's doing a fantastic job here to make sure Africa is a better place. So it is what it is, but we need to support our own so that our future will be, secured. Don't forget to follow us on our Instagram pages, Emmanuel Barbee, Voice of Migrant Association, or this is VOMA, to learn more about this wonderful project that God has given to us. I love you. I want to drop that the Voice of Migrant podcast is dropping this week, and we'll be talking more about potential migrants, return migrants, Africa continent, and the world at large. I remember myself, Jeremiah Delu, Director for Voice of Migrant Association. Thank you, Emmanuel Barbee, for having me. I'm so grateful for having me on this show today. Thank you.
No problem. And again, that's going to conclude our show for today. Peace and blessings.